Yo everybody, we are back here again today for another exciting video. It is time here to start yet another playoff run. And yet again we get stuck with Winnipeg. I'm nervous. We always seem to struggle against Winnipeg, and I'm assuming that it's going to be no different here in this playoff run. We're up 1-0. Going into and Holtz actually gets a big goal there, so we're actually up 2-0 here in the third period. A power play goal nonetheless. So Holtz gets a second there on Hellebuck. So Holtz is coming in big here in the playoffs. I'm actually pretty happy with that. And O'Reilly gets one, so that's 2 for Holtz and 2 for O'Reilly in this game. So I believe that's our first and second line coming in pretty strong, if I'm not mistaken. So a good start for those two boys there. A nice 4-0 win against Winnipeg. I think our goalie is going to be a huge edge for us here in this playoff run. I think our new goalie is going to be huge. 2 goals here. Clefbaum and Mahura. Pinelli, Landeskog, and Fisher get 1, and then Hawryluk and Barry for them get 1. We'll slow sim this period here as well. So we're actually getting outshot, but like I said, I think our goaltender situation is going to be huge for us this playoff run. So 5-2, nothing's really happened so far this period. We've actually kind of evened out the shots a little bit. Well, as I say that, they're kind of starting to run away with the shots again. And that is the final score here of 5-2. O'Reilly has gained some morale because of ice time. Holtz has gained some morale because of ice time. I'm gaining morale because we are finally, for once, up 2-0 against the Winnipeg Jets. I don't know if it's ever happened. I think we play the Jets every single playoff run. Kempe and Bjorkstrand here getting 1. DeBrincat and Holtz getting 1. And DeBrus gets 1, and Roslovic gets 1 shorthanded there. So, not a bad look. It's looking like I don't want to say the magic words just yet, in case I end up kind of, jinxing it here, but I think everybody knows the word that I want to say. And as I say that, on the first shot, Laine scores a goal. Laine and Vesalainen get 1, but Bratt gets 1 for us. Scheifele and Kyle Connor get 1, and O'Reilly gets 1. And the magic word I wanted to say was the sweep. And that's not going to happen here. I swear, if we get reverse swept, I'm going to lose my mind. I just end it here. End it in 5 so I can keep my sanity. What did I say? What did I say to you? This is bad. This is really bad. Okay. We are at home here. I'm hoping that we'll have the home ice advantage. The home ice advantage is meaningless. It's meaningless. It's absolutely just a waste. Okay, we have to take a second here. I need to make sure that let's sim to our next game against Winnipeg. I want to see who is in net. It better be our all-star kind of goalie here in net for this game 7. It is Samsonov. He's got a 9.13. He's got like a 0.5 win percentage here, though. I'm actually quite nervous about this game. Do not tell me we're going to face another first-round exit to the freaking Winnipeg Jets, man. Do not tell me it's going to be the reverse sweep. I'm slow simming this whole game. Hawryluk gets 1 on Samsonov. Come on, boys. Don't let them do it. Do not let them get the reverse sweep. I need to see something. I need to see somebody on our team just heat up. Please. We're looking at being down 1-0. Fisher goes and ties it up here. Don't let them get a power play goal. We just keep it up. We are absolutely flying over them in the shot category right now. It's now back to even. O'Reilly gets a big goal there. Get another one. Get another one. Give me that insurance marker that I need. Looks like we'll be up by 1 goal here going into the third period. Game 7. Winnipeg, please. Winnipeg, don't do me like this. Do not do me like this, Winnipeg, I swear. Not a single goal, and Sergachev, when I saw the goal pop up, and Mahura. Our boys are not letting this one fall out of our grasp here as Hellebuyck chokes in Game 7, letting in 4 fantastic goals by our boys here. You'll certainly take that. It was much closer than it had to be, but in the end, we clutch up and handle the Winnipeg Jets. Looks like now we will be taking on the Sharks, who won their series in 5. Let's kind of see how we're doing here. O'Reilly is over a point per game. He's currently our star player. Let's see if we can hold a candle to San Jose here. Awful start to the first game as we kind of try to edge it back at the end, but it's just too far gone. Well, that was not a good start at home against the San Jose Sharks, I will admit. San Jose seems to be on a little bit of a hot streak here, and oof. Well, now we are down at 0-2 here. Samsonov is currently losing some morale because of kind of recent performance, but gaining some morale back because of his ice time. Hoping that he can turn it around. He hasn't honestly had a great playoffs here. Please. We need this game. I do not want to go down 3-0 against the San Jose Sharks. I really don't. It's looking like we're going to be going to overtime here. No crazy goals right at the end by the looks of it, and we're going to overtime. 38-29 are the shots. The boys just cannot put one in the back of the net, man. We are getting so many shots. Look at us, 43-30 are now the shots. 46, 47. Dude, that is unreal. And finally, Holtz gets a power play goal for the 49th shot or so. Yeah, the 49th shot of the game. Holtz finally puts one in the back of the net. That was too much for me. And now it looks like we are heading down here to game number 4, hoping to tie the series up here. San Jose is at home. They do have the home ice advantage. Okay, so we're down by 1. I'm hoping that we can make this comeback, and Havlat just puts the nail in the coffin here. Niederost gets one as well. I don't even know who these guys are. Jasper Bratt gets one to maybe potentially help us even the score. Beauvillier actually gets one. Are we looking at a comeback here perhaps? 5 minutes to go. Come on, somebody heat up. Hoffman scores one right at the end there to put the nail in the coffin, and here we are in another situation where we have to fight our way to game 7. Just it seems like that's always the case again for us here in the playoffs, fighting our way to a game 7. Can we do it? Can we do it here? Pinelli gets a big one on Picard to start off the third period. Okay. Just hold that lead. That's all we have to do. Landeskog gets a big one. Good job. That's the insurance marker there. Bratt gets a big one on Picard. Backs against the wall. The boys always seem to clutch up. I hope they will continue to do so here for the last couple games of this playoff run. 37-32 are the shots. A pretty contested game with a 6-3 final score here. Man, I'm slow simming this entire game. I'm slow simming this one entirely. I'm just going to let whatever happens. Holtz gets a big one on Picard there. Come on. Do not let them get this power play goal. Well, they get one. Oh, and Niederost gets one. 2 power play goals back to back. Ooh, that hurts. And we're now down 2-1 here going into the second period. I'm hoping that we can answer back. I am praying that the boys will answer back here. Do not let San Jose get this free win. Do not let I need all cylinders right now. Merkley gets one, and that could be it. Another power play. This could be the nail in the coffin. We now need at least 2 goals throughout this period in a game where we've only been able to get 1, and JVR, I think that puts it away. That does put it away. And our playoff dreams yet again have just been absolutely destroyed here. In the second round of the playoffs, another heartbreaking year for us, an absolutely heartbreaking year. Every year it seems like we've finally made the perfect team, or when the years that doesn't, it just seems like maybe we have the hopes of getting some kind of crazy playoff run, but at least we see it here. The Sharks go on to win the cup, so we did lose to the Stanley Cup winners, which at least makes me feel a little bit better. Oh my God. Boston just won the lottery of a lifetime. What are the odds of that even happening, of someone winning the lottery? That's insane. That's absolutely crazy. Speaking of crazy, Backstrom is gone. JVR, the guy who scored the final nail in the coffin goal against us, retires. Yeah, I'm glad you're gone, you absolute piece of human garbage. I hate that kid. Friggin' JVR. Oh, look at him. He's now the coach for the San Jose Sharks. I hope the Sharks just burn. I am so mad, dude. But again, at least they were the ones that won the cup. At least we lost to the team that won the cup instead of like the past couple years where we lose to friggin' Winnipeg. We picked 23rd here in the draft. I'm just hoping for somebody. Just give me something. Get Sharp. We'll take Elliot Sharp. A low elite. It's been a hot minute since we've seen a low elite player in the draft. A hot minute. I'm going to take Nidimaki here. A medium top 9. I mean, I didn't mean to just sim one pick. I meant to sim a whole set of picks. But a medium top 9, I'll definitely take that. This is already shaped up to be what might be our best draft yet. And a top 6 defenseman, not great of a pick there, but I mean, it certainly could be worse. I will certainly be taking that. Let's take Giroux here. I don't think there's ever a Giroux from the Wildcats. That's pretty dope. Pick 140 here. I mean, we have actually quite a few picks in this draft. Let's take Cochran. Oh, actually, Stevens here could actually be a low elite player. Definitely make that pick for sure. Low top 9 forward. Definitely could have been better. But we'll definitely take that. Alanko or Artukian? Let's take Artukian. Low top 6D. I mean, just the amount of prospects we're getting here is fantastic. Piorella could potentially be a top 4D. Let's go for a Sagan, though. Low top 9. And that is our last pick of the draft there, our low top 9 in Sagan. Finally a draft where we get more than like 3 picks. That actually felt pretty good. And I guess we'll just sim straight up to the re-sign phase. We're losing an AHL head coach, which I'm not all that worried about just yet. Like I said, we'll do some re-signing here soon. So Ryan O'Reilly needs a re-sign. Landeskog needs a re-sign. Bjorkstrand needs a re-sign. DeBrusk needs a re-sign. Okay, I am dropping DeBrusk. Fisher, do you want a crazy number? How about like... I'll give you like $3 million. I'm not giving you much more than that. Mahura, $5 million. Guess we do have a lot of cap, but let's just calm down a minute, my guy. I don't know who the hell you think you are. Heinen, that's a more understandable contract. Beauvillier, I guess I'll give him $2 million. Bathgate, I would like to actually give a decent deal. I actually didn't mind kind of having Bathgate there. If Warren doesn't want that big of a deal. Aston Reese probably doesn't want that big of a deal. Give them both kind of a qualifying deal. I mean... We'll keep Simmons on for now. I mean, he hasn't really been... It's not like these guys are going to cost us a crazy amount of money to re-sign. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like anything crazy here. Probably won't re-sign Seed, though. Probably just give him a little bit of a... release him. We have so many unsigned prospects right now that we should definitely look into maybe turning into something, if we can turn them into anything. Ryan O'Reilly wants $7 million for a year. Be going into 35. I'll give him that actually if he's actually gonna take that deal. $8 million for 3 years. I'll probably give him that as well. And Bjorkstrand wants. Okay, let's just see whether those deals are going to go through, and then we'll go from there. We'll just take a look. See Heinen. I'm just no point in me waiting, and kind of I'll just go back to the contracts and see. So O'Reilly doesn't renew, but looks like Fisher also didn't renew, although I don't think we tried to give Fisher a deal. Beauvillier doesn't renew. Warren actually doesn't renew. Okay. Still got about $25 million in cap. Did O'Reilly say he wanted to... Let's do 7.6 for a year and see if that'll make him budge. For Fisher wants $3 million. 3.307. I'll give him 3.325. Mahura was the guy that wanted $5 million for 5 years. That seems quite irrational for me to pay an 82 overall $5 million. So I'm going to release him because there's no way him and I are going to be able to come to any form of agreement. Give Beauvillier 2.5 and maybe see what he says. Give Warren 9 and see what he says. And I think that's it for people that I want to for people that I actually want to re-sign. We'll also have to look at the goaltending situation. I hate that the goaltenders still don't pop up. So Warren doesn't want it. Beauvillier wants to test the free agent market. Fisher. Okay, so O'Reilly does renew, so that's good at least. Let's kind of have a look-see and see where we're at now. So we've got $19 million in cap still. I don't know what to do with Fisher as of right now. So who was it? Beauvillier that wanted to test the free agent market. I suppose we can let Beauvillier go. Warren said he would like to come back for a little bit more money, so give him a little bit less than $1 million. Fisher... just don't want to give him much more than that. 3.42, and even then that is pushing it. That is really pushing it for what I would like to offer somebody like him. Let's advance a day and kind of see. Warren renews. Fisher doesn't renew. I mean, I'm completely okay with getting rid of Fisher at this point if he's going to be like that. If he's going to cause us issues. So Skinner and Saros both need a new deal. I'm honestly thinking of maybe releasing Saros and calling Skinner up. Ooh, that's... If I give him $1 million for 2 years, let's see if he'll take that. And Saros, give him 1.45 for 2 years, and then just kind of see where we go from there. Do I have time to do this? I've only got a couple days left of free agency, so I got to make sure that we get all the players that we want to get here. Fisher's kind of the only... Let's look here. So that's going to be our forward lineup here, which I actually don't dislike the look of that forward lineup there. Definitely need to look at getting some a left winger. Although we wouldn't have to look at getting another left winger if we would just keep Fisher. But for $18 million, I think we can probably get a decent left winger. So let's release him and just call it a day with him. So we need a defenseman as well. So we'll definitely keep an eye on that, and we'll hope that these two will accept those offers. That Skinner guy looks like he's going to be an interesting kind of prospect here. Saros renews and Skinner renews, so that's definitely good. So let's make sure that we've got everybody that we want to have here going into the upcoming season. Okay. So looks to me like we're going to be looking for a left winger and perhaps a defenseman with 18 million in cap to go around. So we'll kind of see where things go from here. I think we have signed everybody that we want to sign. We're going to leave a lot of our prospects unsigned because we don't have anybody that's super good that I think is going to really kind of make a difference. So now it's time to see what the free agent pool looks like here this year. Wow. Okay. Interesting. So we're looking for a left winger. Who are the highest overall left wingers available? We can get Johansson for 2 years. At a very, very decent price, if I'm being honest. We could also go, we could go for someone like Olofsson. You have no idea how much I would love to go for Kotkaniemi. I mean, if we could get him, that would definitely be unreal. I mean, he's young, he's still got time to improve, and he's already an 88 overall center. But I just don't know if that's the way we want to rock this year. We could try to get Johansson and get somebody like, I guess we could actually probably attempt to get Johansson. Ooh. We could do what we've been doing recently in getting some Crosby's. Oh my God, Crosby has fallen off. Who's in for defenseman? Valimaki is the best defenseman right now. He's young. Slavin. Sheesh. What's the highest overall? That's the lowest overall, and the highest overall that's really the highest overall defenseman available right now. And goalies, nothing good for goalies either. At this point, we have to get a defenseman. We pretty much have to get a defenseman, and we pretty much have to get a right winger. How many points did Valimaki have last year? 30, so close to 40 points in 82 games, where Slavin had not even close to that. And Hedman had a little bit over 40 points in 82 games as well. I don't really want to give him that big of a deal. I would do 6.87 maybe for him. And then in terms of a right winger, I wouldn't give Olofsson a contract. I'm thinking Johansson maybe give him 4.6 for 2 years. I'm kind of upset that we're going to be missing out on some of these elite centermen, but we just really don't need a centerman right now. I suppose we could just get rid of O'Reilly and try to trade him off while we still can, which actually may not be a bad idea. Screw it. Let's just try giving him. Obviously, we don't have the cap for this, but we'll try giving him that deal. So you actually need to give up draft picks, which I think it would be like a first round draft pick that you'd have to give up for him. On the same side of the coin, though, it wouldn't hurt to try to maybe sign somebody like Tavares. I don't think Tavares is going to go just yet, just maybe due to his age. So we'll advance a couple days and then just see if perhaps we can get the guys that we want here before we make any other kind of crazy choices. A lot of time has gone by, so Johansson accepts our offer, but Valimaki does not. So it looks like we're going to have to kind of go on the hunt for a different defenseman. Like I thought, Tavares is still there, so definitely keep an eye on that. I guess Slavin might be the best bet we've got. I mean, Sami Vatanen, no. 24 points. Oh, okay, maybe Shea Theodore, actually. Shea Theodore costs a decent bit more. Will Slavin do 2 years at 6.2? We'll see if he'll do that. Come on. So Slavin does accept, so we get a little bit of defensive help there. And our boy Tavares is still here. I am honestly down to give Tavares a shot this year. We're going to cut our cap pretty close here, but I'm completely down to give him $9 million for a year. Those 1-year deals just don't hurt us any. I mean, if we have to make a trade mid-year, I guess they do hurt us, but in terms of anything that we've ever had to do before, it's never been a big deal. So I think that we're going to sim to next season, and with that, we're just going to kind of see where we're at. I mean, like, who are we going to need to kind of trade away? Is it going to be O'Reilly? Is it going to be neither of them? Are we going to keep both of them kind of with us here? I can't remember if I signed O'Reilly to 1 year or a multi-year deal. I honestly can't remember. Which kind of worries me a little bit because if O'Reilly's on a multi-year deal, I think it might be a good time to think about shipping him away. Obviously, it's going to be completely dependent on kind of, I'll have to look at the lines and see who meshes better, if I'm being honest. See what first line kind of sticks better. Obviously, if O'Reilly gives like a 3 chemistry and Tavares only gives like a 1 or even a 0, then that's obviously something we'll have to take into account. So let's see what they have the line set up as here. Okay, so we've got O'Reilly all the way down here on the 4th line. This is an interesting set of lines here. This is actually what they think our lineup should look like. No. I mean, that line looks like it'd be interesting. I really like Pinelli as a player, and I think he'll probably grow pretty well with that setup. I mean, this could be interesting. To have Tavares that low, though, is worrying to me. Let me back out. Let me hit done here, because I think once we actually get to this point, it's going to show us the updated overalls of our players. So let's see here. I mean, to have these guys performing, this is the lines that our assistant coach thinks we should be using. Man, I'm actually quite liking the look of this. Assuming that Tavares isn't going to throw a fit. I don't quite like the idea of having Gurianov up there. I actually think it might be time to say goodbye to him. I think it might be, yeah. I think we can package him and maybe our new low elite player that we didn't end up actually signing. And I think we can maybe make something out of them. I mean, Gurianov actually still has quite a high trade value for what he's worth, and but this scenario is also going to ensure that we don't have any issues moving forward with signing Gurianov, because I don't know what kind of deal he's going to want, you know what I mean? We don't have that much room to move. We don't have that much wiggle room, I'll be honest. Kasperi Kapanen would be an interesting choice. That deal, obviously, I can't see going through. Yeah, that's a little bit too different of a standing point. Sprong here. 3 years at 4.29 mil for a right winger who can't really see his past point totals, I don't think. Yeah, no. He's exactly what we're looking for, kind of a second line forward kind of player. And for some reason, he is the one they're looking to get rid of, which concerns me a little bit. So we'll definitely keep Sprong in mind here from Boston. Man, there's a lot of teams that just don't have the greatest players right now. Like, look at that. Look at the right wings on some of these teams. Like, it's just ridiculous. What's with the trade value on some of these guys? Like, this guy's a top 6 forward, and he's only 83. Why is his trade value just so ridiculous? Like, that's unreal. We could try to get Patrick Kane, but I mean, we wouldn't have the cap for any of these guys on this team. Chicago has paid their right wingers a hefty amount here. I'm glad we haven't gotten into a situation where we've really severely overpaid. We've actually been doing really well. I say we've been doing really well. We've just been moving so many people every season, which, again, I don't know if that's the best way to do it. It probably isn't. But, I mean, we've just been moving and moving and moving and moving every season to the point where we haven't had a contract that's really bit us in the butt, I will admit. But doesn't mean it won't happen. For all we know, it could have been one of these contracts that we make here this year or in future years. Connor Brown, again, it's just not close in terms of actual like cap. I'm honestly thinking that Sprong might be the best kind of look for us right now, if I'm being completely honest. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I think I'm just gonna bite the bullet. And I'm gonna go with my gut, and I think I'm gonna try to get Sprong. We're actually over the cap now if we try to do that. Okay, I guess Sprong isn't the choice. Let's go backwards and see Winnipeg here. Nothing really there that I want. I mean, Gurionov is a 79 overall, so we don't need to be looking for much in terms of trade value. Man, these trade values are ridiculous. You just said there was a 79 overall AHL top 6 that had a trade value higher than Gurionov. Like, this is ridiculous. I just don't know who I can even consider picking up right now. Like, there's nothing that's really catching my eye, and now that we know that whoever we get has to be under like 3 mil, makes this honestly even harder of a task. I mean, I suppose we could throw somebody else into the mix. Abramov would be interesting, but again, that's just not worth it. Most of these guys are just not worth the money that we're going to be spending on them. Let's see who we have here that... I'm trying to think if there's anybody around here that we're just not really going to use. Like, I mean... So we have both of these guys signed to a 1-year deal, which is an interesting proposition, really. We have a lot of contracts coming up in the next year, some big ones. Pinelli's going to be a huge one, assuming he continues to improve this year. I'm just trying to think of someone that I can see that isn't playing right now, or that isn't really playing. I just can't think of anybody. We don't have a lot of cap room to move anybody. But I really would like to move. Also, was I searching on a defenseman that whole time when I was supposed to be searching right wings? I think I was. I really think that was just happening. I don't know for how long, but for a decent amount of time, I think that was what was happening. Yeah, because I don't think we saw Laine when we looked at... oh, no, maybe we did. We did. I don't know who I want, man. Yeah, I don't know. I guess we're going to have to maybe stick with Gurionov and just leave the lines as is. I mean, Tavares is going to be so mad. Like, I don't even think we'll get to the preseason before he starts complaining about ice time. I'm worried it's going to butcher his overall as well, being down that low. I mean, we only have him for a year, but I'm hoping that the year we have him, he'll play well. I'm interested to see how we do this season with this line setup. I mean, we have a lot of our good lines have like a +3 overall. Like Landeskog is going to be playing like a 90 overall on the second line. And we finally have a season where Holtz can actually sit on that first line and kind of chill. So I'm just going to let the season kind of rock here. And if things keep going poorly, if things like really, really fall apart, we'll see what we can do about that. But I mean, if you look at our team, there's absolutely zero shot that anybody is beating us. I don't think, like, unless there's somebody out there that has like just an absolutely amazing squad. Like, who is this? Johansson. He doesn't feel like playing. Like 10 minutes is enough for his ice time. I'm hoping that I can persuade him otherwise, because we're kind of on a hot streak. And okay, so he actually agrees with that. He's okay with having a little bit of lower ice time. He is an 85 overall, so to have him playing that low, actually slow the process here real quick. Yeah, it didn't take long for that to happen, for Tavares to say, "Listen up, my guy. I don't think I should be playing down here." We will give him some more ice time. We will. We're gonna make some changes to the lines, I think. It just doesn't make sense to have a guy like Tavares on the fourth line getting barely any time when a guy like Gurianov is on the second line. Sergachev is actually leading us in points, which is probably not a good thing. Gurianov is up to an 84 overall now, though. Okay, so I think we at least have to put him up a line. It just sucks to do that. Oh, that really blows. Okay, I'll put him up one line. Then maybe I can put... what did I just do? Now Bjorkstrand's kind of playing in a scenario that I don't want him to be playing in. Like, in this sense, they all get a nice +1. I'll move Johansson up and give him a little bit more ice time. There's just no world that I can change any of these guys. Ooh, of course, Bratt would be the one that gives me the +3. Johansson. Do I have another center around? No, I don't. What if I do... We have absolutely made a mess of these lines right now. Let me make sure that everybody's in the position they're supposed to be in. Right wing, left wing, center, right wing, left wing, center, left wing, center. So to be fair, Johansson can actually be a center. So maybe we make Johansson third line. I mean, we have so many guys that can be kind of in any position. Okay, no. I want Johansson up there. Left wing, right wing, center, right wing, left wing, right wing, center, left wing, right wing, left wing. So it's just a little bit of an issue here where Johansson and Landeskog both want to be left wing or a center, and it's just not really working. I'm trying to think if there's any way we could maybe move these guys around, but I think we'll leave it at that. So I think that, I mean, this is going to be a big change for the lines, but obviously we're going to make Tavares happy. I mean, I think he's going to be a good player for us. We'll see. We started off the season pretty hot, so I'm kind of worried about making this change, but I'm hoping that it'll actually improve things instead of messing everything up for us. So Tavares is happy that we kept our promise. We definitely gave him really good ice time there. He's, second or third line now, so at least better than the fourth line ice time he was getting before. I mean, an 89 overall shouldn't be that low. Shouldn't be getting such little ice time. He should really be getting more ice time than O'Reilly. So now Landeskog is having some ice time concerns. I want to persuade you otherwise, just solely because... Okay, so he's okay with playing wherever he's playing. Just because I believe he's on the line that's getting a +3, which has him playing as a 90 overall, and I don't want to give that up, to be honest. But let's see, we're now going on a little bit of a losing streak. That's a little bit worrying, just due to the fact that we were kind of on a hot streak, and then I made some changes, and we're kind of on a losing streak. But let's see if we can keep things turned around here. I really, really don't want to mess this up for us. Just please tell me that we'll be okay. Okay, we're going back on a little bit of a hot streak with some wins here. I'm really hoping we can keep this up. Let's see if we can beat New York. We do. Ooh, a big loss to Chicago there, though. Interesting enough. So it looks like the Stars are leading the run here. Stars and the Red Wings and Stars, Red Wings, and Flyers, by the looks of it, are the ones that are kind of leading the pack here. DeBrincat is sorry for how he's playing out there. That is not what I need to hear. So he wants what? More ice time. I can try to get him some better line chemistry, but I don't know exactly what I'm going to have to do that. I mean, at this point, I'll just change the lines for like 2 games, let him appreciate that we didn't break our promise, and then go back to whatever we were doing before. We've actually kind of started going downhill in terms of, Tavares is actually playing very well. So let's see if we can maybe give DeBrincat a better time here. See if we can maybe push this. Perfect. That could not have honestly turned out any better than it did. Okay, hopefully DeBrincat can appreciate that. Now we've got our whole team kind of firing off on all cylinders. I think our whole top line is now close to being like an absolute. I mean, we've now got a cracked top couple lines here. I'm going to sim right to the deadline. I don't think that we're going to have many issues here. DeBrincat is happy that we kept my promise. We've lost a little bit of chemistry in the locker room, probably due to the changes that we've just made. Unfortunately, it's just how it is. But I'm hoping that we can come into this. Holtz is sorry about how he's playing out there. I'm sorry, my guy. I just got to persuade you that you're not. I think you're doing okay. I mean, he appreciates the vote of confidence. Glad we're on the same page. Yeah. Just continue doing what we're doing here. Okay, a big win there after a little bit of a tumultuous go of it. Holtz is still sorry for how he's playing out there, buddy. Don't tell me you're sorry. Just make it. Just pick up the speed. I'm not giving you first line ice time again. I figured out a way that the lines can have even better chemistry than they did before. I don't want to ruin that now. I'm hoping that an 8-0 win. That was wild. 8-2 and 8-0 win. That's crazy. Okay, we're having an interesting season here. I mean, we don't have an awful record, but the standings are making it seem like it. I mean, man, the Central has been so competitive literally ever since we've started our franchise mode. Like every year we've been clawing our way kind of through this division. It's ridiculous. I mean, at this point, we make the playoffs, and I'll be happy. The Jets, man, the Jets are a crazy good team, our absolute rivals, and they're up at the top of the leaderboard there. I'm interested to see maybe where San Jose is at on the leaderboard right now. I haven't really seen them yet. I don't even really know. We just lost to them, so interesting anyway. 7-1 win against Florida. 3-0 win against Philadelphia. Hopefully a win against Ottawa. 1-0 shootout win. That's pretty intense. No goals all the way down to the shootout. A little bit of a shootout loss there against Buffalo. Shootout loss against Minnesota. I mean, I'll definitely take the points. 24-12-6. I'd say we're having an okay go of it. So far, anyway, I'm hoping that we can keep this performance up. I really am. We're having a good season again. Gurianov is gaining some morale because of individual performance. Saros is gaining some morale because of individual performance. Have a very close game against Vegas that we end up losing there. I'm trying to keep up with everything that's happening. Not so good of a loss against Chicago. Big win against Edmonton there. Hoping for a win against the Blue Jackets. Yep. Another pretty big win there for the Blue Jackets. Up against the Blue Jackets there. Have trouble beating the Predators all the time, man. The Avalanche are a great team too. In our division, that'll be a big one to win. The Predators are actually first in our division, tied with us. Now the Jets have also kind of taken over a little bit. So the Islanders we get a big win against them. Big win against the Kings. Another big win against Montreal. I mean, we have some scorers this year, that's for sure. Getting big, like 8-7 goal wins, some 6-goal wins, things like that, which I'm definitely excited about. Still taking some pretty hefty losses, but I mean, we're still second in our division. Looks like we're pretty high up in the standings in the league too, just judging by the top leaders of every other division that we kind of see. We're on a little bit of a losing streak there, losing I think 3 or 4 straight. I think we're going to keep our current trade block here. We'll see who's in the trade deadline, even though it never really matters much to us. There's just never really anybody that I can see that I would really go for. Yeah, I still don't really see anything that really is interesting to me. So we'll continue through the trade deadline here into the end of the season. This has been interesting, to say the least. It just seems like it's going to be another one of those seasons where we have, a decent regular season, and I'm just hoping that maybe this time we'll be able to turn that decent regular season into, an actually good off season. Looks like New Jersey might be the worst team around right now. 12-46-4. That's a rough record. 28 points. That's pretty bad. The Predators are just long gone in terms of us ever catching up to them in points. I don't know if they played more games than us or whether that's just how good they are this season. If that's just how good they are this season, I am scared to maybe have the absolute awful chance of playing them. We go on a couple losing streak here. It's looking like we'll probably keep our second place spot in our division, but I don't know if we catch up to the Predators in any way, shape, or form here. Yeah, the Predators are at 97 points. They are certainly having a season here, and we don't have much of a season left to catch up, although we low-key start a run here. Wow, we're actually on one right now. I don't even remember. Oh my God, we're actually winning so many games. And just like that. 91 points for Tavares. He started on the 4th line. We put 89 overall Tavares on our 4th line for like a week or 2. I just gotta see this. Okay, where does the winning start? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 wins straight to friggin' take the division title off of Nashville. Were we top in the league? Oh, let's go, dude. President's Trophy. Winning team here by about 4 points. Crazy stuff. What are our point leaders looking like? So we have Tavares and Landeskog actually, who are at either over a point or a point per game. O'Reilly was right behind there. Pretty good points for a second line player. Another interesting season from our boy Holtz as well. He's never really let us down, but he's never really been stellar either. I think that we're doing great. I think that was a great season for sure. It was close to us not even being in a contention spot for the President's Trophy. And then in the last 12 games, we win 12 straight, giving us 24 points there. Wow. Samsonov and Skinner have become quite the duo. I knew Samsonov would be a good player for us. He's hitting his peak a little bit, so we really want to make sure that we win the cup soon. And Skinner, I think Skinner was a really good. Did we draft him? I can't even remember where we got him. But Skinner as a goalie, he came up from the minors, and he's just been stellar for us. Kind of since the get-go. So, we will definitely take that. And, let's just see who we're going to be playing in the playoffs here in our next episode. The regular season is complete, and we will be playing Colorado. So, I don't think we've actually played Colorado since, the very first episode of our very first playoff season in franchise. Probably our second or third episode, probably. So I'm definitely interested to see how this turns out. We're not going to do it in this episode just because we're getting close to that hour mark already. All the trading and such just took me forever. But if I'm being honest, I'm pretty interested to see kind of how this squad turns out. I'm very interested to see. We're about, 6 years in now? Is this year 6? Year 6 or 5 for sure. And it's been a season. It's been a run. But could this be the Stanley Cup win? Could the Stanley Cup win come in our next episode? I really don't know. But as always, guys, I really do hope you enjoyed this episode. We'll see you in the next one. Peace out, guys.